everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to show you what we got going on. Troy got all the tin work in the back totally wrapped up. That's done. Floors are totally done. As you can see, we got the transmission out. Basically, we're doing some final welding because the engine is here and we're getting ready to put the engine in. So that's exciting news. Obviously, we can't show it yet until Cletus shows it. Once Cletus shows it, we will unbox it. Probably be the beginning of next week once we get all the welding done and get ready to set that thing in here and make sure it fits. Until then, it's just gonna sit right behind Andrew right there in that box. But he's finishing up some welding. He's gonna put these 4 panels in. Danny's finishing brake lines. Tunnel's done. A lot of big stuff getting done. The engine's gonna go in and this thing's really gonna start to come together here really quick. Thanks again for everyone that's been watching our channel. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. If you're liking our videos, make sure you subscribe so you get the notification. Let's get into what they got going on today.
So what are you thinking, Troy?
Well, we're gonna do our deck lid the way we've been doing the last few cars. And that's going to incorporate a steel deck lid for this rear section, which is going to afford me the opportunity to put a step across this whole deck lid. That way, as the wing comes in, it can step down into that step. And then when the composite deck lid comes down, it'll cover that and leave just a simple seam across, which is going to hide the fasteners that hold the wing to the deck lid, and it just makes for a real clean install. We've done it 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, looks really good.
And it looks really good.
It makes it look just flush. The wing to the deck lid is a smooth transition. There's no lips or anything. It looks really good.
And then at the end of the day, when the body work is done on this car, when you look under the back, under the wing, it's going to look like a stock 69 Camaro. This is the beginning stages. Cameron and I were just discussing how far forward we want to go with the start of the wing. Another thing this allows us to do is rather than come down off of here with our wing, like traditionally most of your 69 Camaros, wing's going to be down here. What this allows us to do is raise the wing up higher, which allows us to bring the chutes up a little higher, which gives us a lot more room for activities here, because a lot of times when we're building these big tire cars, this back section of this gets cut out for the wheelie bars that come through. Our biggest thing is our pickup point for the chute. Once the chutes are deployed, you're going to have tethers coming through here, and anything we can do to get the chutes up high is going to make it better for those, you know, during the, well, when you're using the car. So that's one of the reasons it's an advantage for us to raise the deck lid up. That even that couple of few inches gives us that much more room to get the chutes underneath the wing. So basically, yeah, this panel will be attached to the body permanently. And then we'll build off of it around the edge for our receiver lip for the carbon deck lid. And when it's all said and done, all you're gonna see is the wing come across the quarter panel and then go across the deck lid, across the quarter panel and back. And then the deck lid is gonna come in and it's just gonna set into the hole right there. And now, when it's all said and done, it's gonna be a real clean setup. Like I said, we've done it a few times, and it works out really well.
Yeah, the wing is one of the biggest components that makes a car look good. In my opinion, if the wing doesn't look right, or if the car sits level and the wing's pointed up or down or drooping, it kills the look of the car. So this is a really big thing. Some classes like NPK, you have to run a 7-inch tall. You can only run 7-inch tall, and I think it's like 8 inches tall.
8 by 28, I think.
Yeah, they really give you some dimensions. For this being an outlaw car, it'll be a lot taller on the sides than that. It'll be pretty long in the middle. We do ours with a kind of radius in the back. So there's a lot that goes into the wing, actually why it works, how tall the wicker is. A lot of stuff he'll explain as he builds the wing, but funny enough, when I worked with Troy about 7 or 8 years ago, he built the wing on one of my Camaros. And
what's the first thing you did?
He built the wing on one of my Camaros, and it was like 35 inches long. You could cook on the back of it. Hibachi grill for sure on the back of my Camaro.
You can certainly land helicopter.
And You can land a helicopter on it. And I backed it into the wall at about, I don't know, about 140 miles an hour.
Something like that.
And I think it acted as a crumple zone. It probably saved me, actually, as long as it was. It hit the wall about 3 seconds before I did. But no, seriously, the wing is a huge component. So today in this video, we're gonna be getting this deck lid fit, stepped, probably tacked in, and then they're getting the rest of this welding done, and we're gonna be lowering the car down. We have some shorter stands so we can start working on the wing. Wing will start coming together in the next few days, and then the engine's going in. I know everybody wants to see that engine. We want to show you guys the engine, and it's going to look huge up there. These 2Js or rotaries or whatever's in that box, they look big. So it'll be really cool to see.
And to be straight, we're waiting on the engine as well. Just because we know what it is doesn't make it any different. We need the engine to continue on in the front section of the car. So we're just as anxious to get it in our hands as you are to know
They know it's here. We already said it's here.
Oh yeah, no, we know it's here.
Yeah. Well, we just can't put it in.
We just can't tell you what it is yet.
Yeah, so.
But that's coming.
Coming very soon. Yeah, for right now, we're gonna leave it in a box where it's at. That way it's out of the way.
Soon, not soon enough.
Soon, not soon enough. And then when they get the welding done, probably next few days, beginning of next week, we're gonna put it in, and that'll really start to come together. We'll be able to start mounting turbos, building headers.
Yep.
This thing's gonna look like a real car here very soon. How's it going, Taylor? It's going all right? As you can see, Taylor's getting a lot of the welding done that he kind of has to get done before he puts these panels in, or else he can't reach in. And the last thing we want to do is trap ourselves in a corner to where he's trying to weld something without being able to get through those holes. So he's going to finish getting that welding done in this area that he has to do from back there. Then he's going to put these 4 panels in. Once he does that, Danny will be able to do his brake lines from here back, so their brake lines will be totally done. And once that's done, we're putting this thing down on the ground, or down lower, so we can do the wing and get ready to put the engine in. Yeah, it came out good, Danny. I like the welding all the way around the front too. That looks good.
Yeah, considering it's perfect.
Yeah.
So Danny, this was the piece that you were working on previously when you were using your special tool.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what it looks like when it's done. Looks like it just gets complicated a little bit. It just takes time. But a lot of fitting, a lot of zero tolerance, almost fitting. But yeah, it come out rather good.
And again, the primary job of this is to protect Cletus from any type of drive shaft issues that he may have. So any drive shaft exploding or any
exactly.
debris.
Yeah, the U-joint is basically about here. So if it comes apart, it's going to hit this. If any pieces kind of come around, what are you going to do? But I'm saying this is pretty much flush with the back of the transmission case. And so the yoke, where the U-joints are are usually about this much inside. So it contains all that area, and it just extends back, and then there'll be aluminum that goes on top of this, all the way back to the back, just to contain the rest of the drive shaft, which basically turns to dust. So, but yeah, this is they all sort of look the same on about every car, but every one's a little different fit because of motor position in relation to the X braces in the chassis. All that's different. So you can't make one fit all.
Yeah. Something I like that we do that not everybody does. Everybody kind of has their own design. Like I said, we sell these so we know, like a lot of people do, 2 loops, 1 loop, how they mount them's different. This is just what we found that we like the best. This front loop isn't required, but we've had some without this front loop. This will be a little bit closer if we don't run a front loop. But then what happens if that U-joint comes apart, it'll kind of tin can the front of that thing. It'll just, believe it or not, rip that titanium open. So we did this because it's really hard now that you only have this little area. It's really hard for that stuff to come out of that. So I think this was a good addition when we started doing this, and these 3/4 tubes to tie it in. Also, we mentioned this ties the dual frame rails together. So now instead of a 50-inch span or 60-inch span in the dual frame rails, this kind of splits that up and also makes those a little more rigid. So there's a reason behind why we do all this stuff, and this is kind of what we found works the best. There's a lot of other ways to do it, but I like this.
Yeah, works good.
Yeah. So, it's light. These titanium tunnels are like 8, depending on how you do them, 8 or 10 pounds lighter than a chromoly tunnel. So it could be quite a bit. It's half the weight basically of chromoly.
This thing can't be more than 3 pounds.
Yeah, it's very light. It doesn't look, it looks like there's a lot there, but it is, I bet if we weighed it, yeah, it's not. It might be 3 or 4 pounds.
It's 2 or 3, yeah, it's not very heavy.
Yeah, so super safe, still lightweight, and it's in the middle of the car. So if we can get some weight out of there, it's.
You can bolt them in, you can quick pin them in, whichever you want to do.
Yeah, we quick pin them in because if you need to get it out, do a tranny swap or change a converter, like we said before, our transmission crossmember drops down, you pull this out with 4 pins. Hit the track, you might only have 45 minutes or an hour between rounds, so you got to be able to tear stuff apart, put it back together quick. So quick pins instead of bolts is definitely a little faster.
What I'm doing here is I need to bead roll a step into this panel. I'm going to go about 3 1/4 inches up from this end. But all I can have is the skin. This double section, I'm going to leave some of this for strength. But this is all going to get welded to the back of the car, so it's going to be permanently mounted to the car when it gets body work and paint. This will all get painted at the same time. So for right now, I'm not sure exactly how far I'm going to cut this back, but I know where my step is going to be. So what I'm doing now is I'm just clearing myself an area so that I can get my step in, at which point I can start laying out my Zeus holes and start figuring out all that stuff, so that when I'm ready to mount it in the car permanently, I can determine where this is going to get cut back, and most importantly, how I'm going to mount it. Am I going to have to make little brackets, or I don't know what I'm going to have to do. Tie this back lip in. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. But for right now, we're getting ready to lay out to do the bead roll for this step. So we'll get there when we get there.
Now, I remember you working on those plates a couple episodes ago, actually. They look a little bit different now.
Yeah. Trim them to go around the hoop for the drive shaft. Everything's on a different plane, so you've got to put some brakes and some bends in some places, some angles. You've got to fudge them in. It's not just a square, easy drop-in fit scenario like everybody would love.
better. It's like I barely need to ream it.
Over there. No, it doesn't stick out far enough.
You weld that from back inside there, right?
I
You don't weld it out here.
I know, I stitched this edge along here
Okay. All right.
so that this looks like a body line.
Oh, you can push it out a little bit here.
I haven't made it down there yet. I'm up here.
Oh yeah, you got to go
It's
that.
just a hair. It's just a hair out, but I'm leaving.
Yeah, I can. You do what you got to do there, and I can push out here with something, hold it back for you, whatever you want to do.
Push, Danny,
Push it, push it. Push back on that a little bit.
I don't know.
That's there. I'm pushing back on it, and it did make it go back a little more.
Andrew wasn't here to show the final product when we finished it the other day, so we threw everything in here quick just to show you. This is all finished now. Basically shows a nice smooth transition out to the back, and I mean that's really all there is to it. And that'll close off that. It's not going to be airtight. You really can't be airtight with these cars anymore, because you have a big gaping hole down the middle where the drive shaft goes. So you will never make these smoke free when you do the burnout. Basically what we're doing is keeping debris and such out of the car. But yeah, basically this is it, just some simple pins. Other than that, we're on to finishing off, or starting I should say, the deck lid install and the wing design and fabrication. We'll be moving on to that now. But I just wanted to show you the finished deal. It's all ready to rock and roll. Now I can pull it all apart so I can get up in here to work on underneath for the deck lid.
So will this be one of the final things to be permanent?
What do you mean permanent?
The inner tin?
Yeah, this is done.
Closer to the end of the build, when will this become a permanent? When will it stay in permanently?
In the final assembly, it'll be up there with a lot of the other stuff. I mean, the first thing we generally do is Danny will go around and tap every hole, because we don't do that until after the coating, because if we do it before the coating, we still have to redo it after the coating, so there's no sense in doing that. And then the other thing Danny likes to do before we get too far is put all the springs for all the Zeus tabs while there's nothing in his way. He jumps in here and puts all the springs in the car for all the Zeus springs. And once that's all done, he'll go through and any other spots that need tapping or drilling or what have you. And he enjoys going through and making sure everything's ready to go in clearance. All these holes all have to be clearance for the 4-link. There's a lot of details that go into putting the car together for final assembly. Once the car starts going together, the body's mounted, so forth. This tin will be kind of in the middle of everything. The tin will go in. The tubs are one of the last things to go in because you want access to the windows, and there's a lot of things that you access with the tubs out of the way. Because once they go in, you're pretty much closed off. You're not getting up in there at all. In this middle section, as you can see, Taylor's got these 2 panels in. So once those are welded in permanently, you can't get through there either. So there's a lot of work that goes into the final assembly, and it's all done in specific steps. But it'll probably be midway through the final assembly when the tin goes in for the last time. And this will all get nut and bolted. The only thing we use rivets on at CJ Race Cars is to hold the springs in for the Zeus's. There are no rivets in our cars. Everything is drilled and tap or nut and bolt. And that's just the way we do it. And everything that goes through is going to be drilled and tap. Everything that goes into the frame is going to be drilled and tap. Everything that goes through is going to be nut and bolted. So this will all be 632 hardware with nylocks. It'll all be held together with nuts and bolts, no rivets.
Go check in with Cameron, see what he's doing. I haven't seen him in a minute. That's wild. What are you guys doing over here?
We're shipping stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh, we got some new styles in. Some new colors. White
Yeah.
and the gray.
Yeah, we just started doing gray. For a long time, the only thing we had was black. A lot of people wanted lighter colors, so we got the gray retro. We got white and gray American flag shirts, which I love both those. So, also, if you haven't, if you didn't already know, for all the shirts until the end of this month, which is only a few days from now, 5% of all merch sales goes straight to paying Cletus's bill. So if you want to help Cletus with that, more importantly, even help us grow the channel, make sure you go over and get some merch. And appreciate all the support.
Also, what is this?
This
I
is
saw Andrew welding this earlier. I take it looks like a control arm.
the titanium wishbone.
Okay.
If you guys watched the last video, we had a titanium wishbone kit, and this is pretty much what it looks like once you put it together. We sell a lot of these. This is our standard length. This is what we use on all our cars. If you're building a car and you don't really have a size already set, you're not trying to replace one, this would work good for you. Or we make them in titanium and chromoly to fit. You call, give us some dimensions, and we can make one for you. He does an awesome job. I'm sure you guys have already seen Andrew's welds, Taylor's welds, all these guys, they do great, but this thing came out phenomenal. And a wishbone is one of the biggest weight savings, especially when you pair it with a aluminum slider if you're going to run radials or small tires. Save you a bunch of weight, and they look good. Can't beat the look. They're not powder coated, they look like jewelry. Jewelry for men.
All right, let's see if we can screw up this deck lid. Thank you, sir.
A good story ever started with eating a salad.
Come around this side and line me up. Close?
Yeah.
Oh. I think we're going to need more than that by the time we add. basically what I'm doing, this is going to be part of the car. And the wing is going to be coming off of this. But the wing is going to have a step in it also. So the wing's going to come in, it's going to step down. It's going to follow this panel, which is going to get trimmed back. There's only going to be a lip here. So you're going to have the wing comes in, it steps down. Now my carbon deck lid is going to be coming across, and it is going to end at the wing. So this section is going to be under the wing. You're not going to see it. All you're going to see is the line where the carbon fiber deck lid ends and the wing appears to end. Only the wing actually goes down underneath the carbon fiber. And all my fasteners that hold the wing to the car are going to be under the deck lid, hidden. So all you're going to see is the Zeus fasteners going across holding the deck lid down. So it makes for a real clean installation. This gets body worked with the rest of the car, painted with the rest of the car, along with the, the lip that goes all the way around the deck lid. It'll make more sense as I piece it all together, because this is actually going to be a really deep step. Because once the wing goes down into this, the top of that wing is going to be even with the step where the receiver step for the deck lid, so that it's all going to be one level, so that everything is flush when it's done. So like I said, trust the process. It'll make sense as we go along, but that's the gist of it. So you're leaving room for the carbon panel on top. So that's what we want. Let's run it through one more time on that die. Hopefully that gets her done.
You gotta put the lasagna in there.
Way off the line. Oh. So now, I got this panel of 060. This represents the thickness of the wing. So if you see, kind of hard to see, but I'm below this. In other words, this edge is below this edge. So what that means is when my carbon fiber lays over the top, it's going to be flush. Because what's going to happen, hang on to that, is this panel is going to get bead rolled. Okay, bring that over here. So what's going to happen is this is going to lay over the top of this, and then the carbon fiber will lay on that, and that'll be our seam. You won't see any of this. It'll all be below that.
That's nice.
Looks good.
That's nice. The only other one I could do anything with is something right there, but I don't think it needs to be there.
Now,
That's 10 Zeuses. Sometimes we have 10, sometimes we have 9.
anybody worried about the seat falling out being juiced in, You can pick the car up with that seat right now.
The main reason there's so many of them is because you're trying to conform carbon fiber to what we have for framework. And carbon fiber will move over, but it won't stretch. So if you find, like, let's say it wants to conform here, but it doesn't want to conform here, that would involve stretching. And you're not going to stretch carbon fiber, so you just got to kind of find a happy medium with it to make it fit. And some places it doesn't straight like this here. It's tight back against that right there, so it doesn't need anything. But this pushes everything in. They're always usually about the same spots. You have two here, you have two here. This one here does a lot because the curvature of our frame is a little different curve than the curve of the seat. So you gotta, that you can conform. All you're doing is opening up the already curve a little bit, but you gotta force it where you want it. But then when you get this where you want it, now these fall in wherever they land, because there you can't pull them this way anymore.
Looks really good though, Danny.
Yeah, it's mounted. We have to cover up our deal over here where we drop the seat in. That'll all get carbon fibered over. I don't know if you can see it. You probably got to see it from over here. This is going to have a piece of aluminum that we're going to conform to this, roll it around this, and that will be like a form where Troy will put his silver tape in there and all that and do what he does with that. And then this will all get, any hole you see anywhere is going to be covered. So you won't even see this frame tube or this frame tube when you put the seat in. It'll just be looking like the carbon. And then, like, when you sit in the car, you don't even feel the frame anyway. And if you have fire pants on, you definitely won't feel it. And you're going to have a poured in seat, which is going to cover it, so you won't even know it's there.
You're going to put a Zeus in every scallop? Is that the plan?
No, I only have 4 across the back.
Okay, so you're going to skip.
And then I have
the screws for
2 in between each to hold the wing.
Perfect. Yeah, it'll look good.
I think that's a simple solution.
Yeah. Yeah, this definitely looks really slick when it's all done with the...
Yeah, I mean, once it's all done, there's going to be a lip coming across. It'll go right into that.
Yeah.
Like I stated before, we've already done a few cars like this. Mm-hmm. In fact, the Lexus that just left was done like this with the stock.
Ron's car over there is like this.
Yes, it is.
Markowitz's car is like that?
No.
Clay's car is like that?
Nope.
Similar. It's got a lip on a fiberglass. It's all sandwiched. It's just a fiberglass.
Yeah, but it's...
Right, you're right. Yeah.
They were done similarly.
Monza's car is like that. It was the first one we did.
The first.
Yeah.
But the way we used to do this
was a pain.
We'd make a steel lip, and then the end of the carbon panel that got cut off would get bonded to that, and then it would get all body worked and such. But
this is much cleaner in my opinion.
It's so much easier to do the body work on steel, and it matches the rest of the body, and it gets well done. It's part of the car. And if we're putting so much effort into putting a steel lip, we're just welding the end of the steel deck lid on. I mean, it's essentially the same thing, only it's the skin. So we're not going over the top with a composite. It is what it is. It's done. And like I said, when you look up under a skirt, you'll see it'll look like a 69 Camaro back here.
So now that that's done.
Yeah, I got to finish sanding the edge and everything.
Now that's close, so we're going to lower this thing down here pretty soon?
Next day or so? I'd like to figure out how to mount it first.
Yeah, but after that we'll...
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
At which point we can move forward with... I'll get together with Cameron and he'll tell me what he wants to see, and we'll come up with the wing. Because I agree with Cameron. It's all about proportion and making it look right.
Yeah. Every body style car has to have a different style of wing. You can't just take a wing off a Camaro and put it on a Malibu or something that's more boxy. So it's really got to fit the car, the body lines, and a lot of that makes the car big time.
A lot of that is art. I mean, I don't know. We've been doing this a while. Cameron likes certain looks. I agree with a lot of the looks that he likes. And I like a lot of looks, and we go back and forth and come up with a plan.
The only thing we don't agree on is the van, the porthole windows with a
No
shag
portholes.
carpet, with a shag carpet in the minivan.
Oh, I like shag carpet. You get the knee burns, but
Oh man, dang! I just told you
Well, you had
PG
to say
earlier.
that.
They don't listen.
keep trying.
You get these old guys, man. They just forget sometimes. They
You
forget
keep
they're on it.
trying, you're gonna find might want to hear something you don't want to know.
Oh
you
man,
And eyeballing them Skittles in the office.
you been eyeballing them?
Yeah.
I haven't had any of them. What do you got? You got some in there?
No, I don't.
Hey, listen, if you guys order something and it's supposed to get Skittles, we tried. These guys cannot stay out of the Skittles or the Sour Patch Kids, so I'm sorry.
I need to try some of them.
No, you don't need to try none, Danny.
Huh?
You don't need to try none.
They're really good, Dan.
We got 12 people eating out of those bags already, so man, we got enough to ship about 3,000 orders, and every 2 days they're gone.
I need to try one.
Didn't you get cookies?
Oh, I got cookies.
Andrew ate them all.
That's for the night at home.
Where are those cookies at?
What cookies?
Where are they at? You got the bag that came in?
It's over there.
Give me the bag.
It's over there on the metal.
Seriously, where's the bag at?
Behind the big block.
Where's
We
the
got
bag at?
cookies and no one told me. That is bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in there.
Hey,
Huh?
top cookie, I've already took a bite out of it. The bottom ones are all good.
This is all for you?
No, I will share them with the people.
Share them. He came in here and said
These
they're
are the
for
best
everybody.
cookies, seriously. They make bread and cookies, spellbound sourdough. This is the best bread and cookies. You gotta pick them up though. They don't deliver them, I don't think, but if you're anywhere near Tampa, the best cookies or bread you can get, period. You gotta try them. I eat loaves of bread. I'm trying to stay on a diet, but it's making it very difficult.
And now we'll work for
Dang right.
No, that's not a sponsor. That's just because I'm fat and I like bread and cookies.
Oh yeah, he said they're yours. Do what you want to do.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna. I thought he was gonna give you one. I knew he was gonna bring the whole bag in here.
So I will. You want cookies? Have cookies.
He ate the Skittles.
I actually am fat.
He ate the.
I'm going.
I'm about to be. I lost 25 pounds in the last few months, and I'm
Yeah,
about to go
somebody-
backwards if someone doesn't eat all them Skittles and all that bread.
Somebody mentioned that.
Did they?
In the comment.
Yeah,
They said, "Damn, you're getting skinny."
yeah. I'm not gonna be if I keep eating them Skittles and that bread.
I don't think I'm a Skittle.
Actually, I think the sourdough's supposed to be better than regular bread.
It is.
That's what I tell
It
myself.
is.
That's what I'm telling myself.
White flour is what they want you to stay away from. White bread, like plain old Wonder Bread. Oh, bad for you.
Really?
Bad stuff. The more grains it's got in it, the more seeds it's got in it, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The darker the bread, it's supposed to be better for you.
Really?
I love bread. I can live on bread. and
Oh,
water.
me too. Bread, pasta, noodles, corn, rice.
I can live
Not
on,
eating
I can
nothing
live
else.
on bread and water, but the water needs
Bread
to
and
be
water.
Propel or something that's got some sweetness to it.
Oh,
What?
Andrew needs Skittles and Monsters to live.
I can trim a lot of it out of the middle,
Yeah.
but I swear I pulled that other tub out. Regardless, anyway, so yeah, I gotta trim that back, but I can't trim it a lot.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Yeah, don't trim any more than you can. We gotta have the real lights in there. So
Yeah,
tag light, front lights, hideaway headlights.
this ain't getting high. It's already got high.
That's what I'm saying. Well, we just gotta put the lights in there and cut it a little bit
We'll cut the little windows out.
so they shine through. Yep.
Okay. But yeah, it's definitely getting taillights. And we talked about that. The reason this is getting taillights is because I got two big gaping holes back here. It's not a carbon body where this is filled in. It'd be kind of silly not to put taillights in. And second, if you're racing at night, the track crew wants to see taillights in the car so they know you're cleared the track after your pass. At night, when you're racing at night in the dark, you have to have taillights in the car. So 69 Camaro, you might as well have real taillights, brake lights, I'm sure, to wire all that stuff to work. I mean, it'd be pretty cool.
Talking about wiring, actually,
Wiring.
like we said a few times, once this engine goes in, things are gonna go gangbusters. As soon as the engine's in, the wiring guy's coming here. He's gonna start laying out the harness here. We'll show you guys all that. Usually we get these cars close enough and we send them to wiring, but with the timeline we have, the wiring guy's actually gonna come here, get most of the measurements, do about 90% of the harness at his shop, bring it back here and finalize it here. So we'll have that going on, headers getting built, turbos getting built, charge pipe getting built.
All the window lips, all the finished
window
work
lips.
for the body.
In the next 2 or 3 weeks, this thing's gonna it's gonna be a whole different animal in a few weeks. So 3 turbos, 2 JZ, it's gonna start to really just come alive quick.
7 turbos. It's getting the rear mount turbos too.
Well, that's for when we do drag and drive
With the radiator.
in the back, yeah.
So we're just gonna ignore the fact that Taylor already told everybody it's a rotary.
Well, I'm hopeful that when we open the box, there's a 2J in it.
I thought it was a Predator 224.
Could be. Could be
Like
too.
7 of them.
That'd be pretty cool.
Just stack them.
Be pretty cool. Just stack them, just line them up together.
Yeah.
That's what they do with the rotors, right? They just keep
Same basic
keep gluing them
principle.
together, and when they're longer, there's more of them.
Yeah.
5 rotor, 6 rotor.
Yeah, I think all the magic is the crank.
Yeah, you gotta have the crank. That's
Gotta
the
have the
problem. I
right-
think that's the problem.
That's the magic.
All right, everyone, that's it for this episode. We had another great day, getting a lot of stuff done. And thanks again for everyone that's watching. If you aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe because we're getting ready to really get into some cool stuff. Engine, turbos, trannies. We're about to start making some cool stuff happen. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And thanks again for watching.